J.Ross Browne, Ireland, December 9, 1875 in Oakland, California, often called J.Ross Browne. Date of birth sometimes given as 1817, was an Irish-born American traveler, artist, writer and government agent. Biography. J.Ross Browne was the third of 7 children born to Thomas Egerton Browne, an Irish newspaper editor, and his wife, Elizabeth Browne. Thomas Browne was an ardent nationalist who ran afoul of the British government and was sent to prison, but released on condition of his leaving Ireland. In 1833 the family emigrated to the United States. They settled in Louisville, Kentucky, where Thomas became a schoolteacher and eventually editor and proprietor of the Louisville Daily Reporter. Browne briefly attended Louisville Medical Institute, an experience that inspired his first book, Confessions of a Quack. In 1842, after working several years on a riverboat, he signed on to a whaling ship. In 1846 he published the book Etchings of a Whaling Cruise at Harper & Amp Brothers, New York, which earned him recognition as an artist and writer, and is thought to have influenced Herman Melville. He married Lucy Ann Mitchell in 1844. The couple had 9 children. In 1849, at the time of the California Gold Rush, Browne moved to California and worked in various jobs for the government, as an agent for the Treasury Department, surveyor of customs houses and mints, investigator of Indian and Land Office affairs, and official reporter for the State Constitutional Convention. He published parts of these experiences in the popular presses from Crusoe's Island. He then went on a trip to Europe and the Middle East, published his impressions serially at Harper's Magazine and then in book form as Yusef. Browne and his family moved in 1861 to Germany, an experience that resulted in an American family in Germany, with Browne's side trips detailed in The Land of Thor. In 1863, he returned to the American West, vividly describing Arizona, Sonora, and other regions in his adventures in the Apache country. He was appointed minister to China in 1868, but was recalled in 1870. Browne died December 9, 1875, in Oakland, California. The style of his writings influenced a number of authors such as Mark Twain, Bret Harte and Dan Quayle. Published writings. 1841 Confessions of a Quack, or The Autobiography of a Modern Aesculapian, James B. Marshall, publisher, Louisville, Kentucky, 1841. OCLC 5,230,489. 1850 Etchings of a Whaling Cruise, with notes of a sojourn on the island of Zanzibar, to which is appended a brief history of the whale fishery, its past and present condition. Harper & Brothers, New York, 1850. OCLC 18,688,057. 1850 Report of the Debates in the Convention of California, printed by J. T. Towers, Washington, 1850. OCLC 654,476,750. 1853 Yusef, or The Journey of the Frangi, A Crusade in the East. Harper & Brothers, New York, 1853. 1858 Indian Affairs in the Territories of Oregon and Washington. Letter from the Secretary of the Interior, transmitting, in compliance with the resolution of the House of Representatives of the 19th instant, the report of J.Ross Browne, Special Agent, on the subject of Indian Affairs in the Territories of Oregon and Washington, January 25, 1858, referred to the Committee on Indian Affairs in order to be printed. Ex. Doc. 35th Congress, First Session, House of Representatives, No. 39, Washington, U.S. Government Printing Office, 1858, OCLC 9,654,708. 1868 Peapod Washoe, Harper's New Monthly Magazine, December 1860. 1860 report of the Secretary of the Interior, communicating in compliance with a resolution of the Senate. The correspondence between the Indian Office and the present Superintendents and Agents in California, and J.Ross Browne, ESQ, together with the report of the Commissioner of Indians Affairs, enclosing the same to the Department. Executive document of the Senate, Congress of the United States, 1860, OCLC 16,852,850. 1861 The Old Sea King, or The Wonderful Adventures of Little Mitchell, Harper's Weekly, No. 212, January 19, 1861, p. 4445, OCLC 62,718,058. 1861 to 1862 To the Coast Ranges, A Chronicle of Adventures in California, Paisano Press, Balboa Island, Calif., 1959, reprinted from Harper's New Monthly Magazine, volumes 23-24, 1861-62. Part 2 Title: The Indian Reservations. 1864 From Crusoe's Island, A Ramble in the Footsteps of Alexander Selkirk, Harper and Brothers, New York, 1864. 1864 California's Indians, A Clever Satire on the Government's Dealings with its Indian Wards, published by Harper Brothers in 1864, reprint, 1864 to 1865 A Tour Through Arizona, San Francisco, California to Casa Grande, Arizona in October and November of 1864. Harper's New Monthly Magazine, October, Dec. 1864, Jan-March, 1865, OCLC 12,044,825. 1865 Washoe Revisited, Harper's New Monthly Magazine, May 1865. 1865 Down in the Cinnabar Mines, A Visit to New Almaden in 1865, Harper's New Monthly Magazine, October 1865, OCLC 42,687,253. 1865 The Bodie Bluff Mines located in Mono County, California, belonging to the Empire Gold and Silver Mining Co. of New York, with pen and pencil, Clark and Amp, Maynard, New York, 1865, OCLC 13,851,324. 1865 A Trip to Bodie Bluff and the Dead Sea of the West, Harper's New Monthly Magazine, Sept. 1865, number 184, OCLC 21,697,588. 1866 An American Family in Germany, Harper and Brothers, New York, 1866, OCLC 325,598. 1866 The Reese River Country, Harper's New Monthly Magazine, June 1866, OCLC 18,708,280. 1867 The Land of Thought, Harper and Brothers, New York, 1867. 1867 Report of J.Ross Browne on the mineral resources of the states and territories west of the Rocky Mountains, United States Department of the Treasury, Washington, General Printing Office, 1867. OCLC 7,940,016, part of Reports upon the Mineral Resources of the United States, 1868 Explorations in Lower California, 3 papers in Harper's New Monthly Magazine, October, November and AMP, December 1868, OCLC 20,538,246, 1869. 1869 Adventures in the Apache Country, a tour through Arizona and Sonora, with notes on the silver regions of Nevada, Harper and Amp Brothers, 1869. Also published in Harper's New Monthly Magazine. No. 173 to 178, 1869 Sketch of the Settlement and Exploration of Lower California. H. Bancroft, San Francisco, 1869, OCLC 795,679,890, also included as Part 2 of Resources of the Pacific Slope, 1869 Resources of the Pacific Slope, a statistical and descriptive summary of the mines and minerals, climate, topography, agriculture, commerce, manufactures, and miscellaneous productions of the states and territories west of the Rocky Mountains. Co-author Alexander S. Taylor, D. Appleton and Company, New York, 1869, OCLC 663,205,480. 1870 The policy of extending local aid to railroads, with special reference to the proposed line through the San Joaquin Valley to the Colorado River. Alta California Printing House, San Francisco, 1870, OCLC 13,851,599. 1872 Reclamation of marsh and swamp lands and projected canals for irrigation in California, with notes on the canal systems of China and other countries. Alta California Printing House, San Francisco, 1872, OCLC 13,851,612. 1872 Some of his illustrations are used by the American Publishing Company in Roughing It by Mark Twain.